ride with the wind over hill, over dale, with the thrill and the chant of flame, and follow me. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, your masked Marvel Agent X7, the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. And today is Thursday, which is live action series Thursday. We're going to be reviewing episodes 5 through 8, yes, of Zorro's Fighting Legion. And you'll see a couple of scenes here that are very, very familiar to a 1981 movie that borrowed a lot from it. But before we get too much further into that, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Zorro. Let me know what you think about this serial. Let me know what you think about serials. Do you like them? I enjoy them, especially if they're in good-looking shape. And I do want to apologize because I used the Roan DVD that I have here, which is a way better. Is it Roan? Yes, it's an image DVD from Hal Roach Studios directly, so it's probably was the best print at the time. Before Blu-ray and even, so it looks a lot better than what I used for the first 4 episodes, so I am sorry about that. Now, are you ready? Let's ride. Okay, and we will hear that song yet again, which is all right. It's not the worst song we could hear. Excuse me. But let's start out with we go right into chapter 5, The Decoy. Now they don't have, dates on here. All we know, it was originally released on September 16th, 1939, making it just a hair younger than My Sainted Mother. And I saw these episodes, some of them, on, I don't know what happened there, but Zorro was popular, somehow got popular again. And the local kiddie show, Noel and Andy, showed them 15-minute the chapters. I didn't see all of them. It never did. But you just couldn't. But so we get the recap here. Felipe and Moreno, boo. Tarmac. Apparently, airports weren't a big thing yet, so Tarmac was not a name. But he is the chief of the Yaqui. And I don't know, do we know who played Tarmac here? No. And Zorro is, trying to warn the ammunition train, which is supposed to go to the army to help defend, and not to the corrupt establishment. There's our villains, and Zorro is he's getting shot at while he's hanging from a bridge, which suddenly falls right down over a ravine. Look familiar? I think that Steven Spielberg really liked this movie, or this serial, when he and George Lucas did Indiana Jones, which is a classic, because look, that's right out of there, except that there's no water down below. I really need to watch that again. It's been a minute. I don't even think I own it. And that's just sad. So, but he gets out, and the bad guys go to intercept and give him a forged note to Antonio Gomez. So none of the actors here are remotely, well, Leandro de Corva is Governor Felipe, but most of them are not Latino or Latinx, and they don't even try to do any kind of accent, which nobody did back then, because they would have sounded ridiculous for the most part, unless they actually had the accent. If it was natural, it was natural. And I'm glad they didn't, even though some of them do sound very contemporary, or even sound a little like the gangsters they would usually play. But and they look just like, cowboys from the 1930s, which is what they were. But Zorro escapes by starting a brush fire. And there's our Manuel Gonzalez, captain or something. So they show this, and they're acting shocked that the order would be revealed. But then Zorro says, "I'll return the ammunition." And now they're like, "He can't do that." Don Del Oro, they say, and so he sent them out with pigeons, and they ride. And they're trying to capture they have to fix the wheel, and they've got Zorro on there, and they're going to blow him sky high. Oh no! Kaboom! Zorro's inside. Or is he? Chapter 6, Zorro to the rescue. Here we get the recap here. So they're still fighting. And Zorro's going to use the old pincher's trick with most of the Legion going around, and Zorro's just keeping three of his Legionnaires to get the. They're going to make him think there's a lot more of them, and it works. The bad guys, the miscreants, run away. Zorro takes. They ride. They bring back the munitions, and right in front of everybody, so that the four or five miscreants in the council can't say, "Oh, we got lost." And Zorro throws an expertly thrown knife with a message on it, pretty much saying "na na 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 na." And there's Volita. So you are reminded there is a woman in here, and she and Ramon is her brother, and they get kidnapped, and they're gonna get. And there's Juan, who got knocked out because somebody saw Ramon talking to Zorro, so they think he knows who Zorro is, and they're threatening to torture him. Zorro grabs one of their henchmen and makes him tell where he is. But then they say, "Oh no, we're not going to put the burning poker on him, on you, Ramon. We're going to put it on Volita and ruin those lovely good looks." Zorro shows up. A sword fight breaks out, and he gets pushed into a room with the crushing walls of doom. And at least these guys have to turn. It doesn't just turn on automatically. So they show the mechanism, and he tries. He puts the there's a bed frame in there, but it crushes it. Is Zorro next? And now the fugitive. So they're still torture. They're going to torture Ramon and Volita. I mean, really, Volita. Couldn't they have thought of anything other than something that rhymed with Lolita, which problematic in and of itself in this day and age, just the name. They put her in the comfy chair because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. He's trapped in the dungeon, but he sees this. So he pries it up and uses it to block, and the rock actually stops it, and he gets out. He rescues Volita and Ramon, and she's all, "Wee, wee, you're so brave." And of course, Diego rides back really fast to change to himself, and she's just like, "You're such a fop." I mean, I'm sure that was probably worked very well as a disguise back then. The secret identity here is needed so he can move freely and get information. That actually, I can see why that secret identity means something. This day and age, it's harder to justify it. It can be done, but it has to be well done. And she's all happy that that Volita has been returned to her safely. And they just wander off without talking to Diego at all. But Diego and Ramon talk, and they're like, "Somebody saw me," and they figure out it was Manuel, really. So they concoct a plan, and now they're saying that that Diego had gotten a note that says, "I'll give you, I want 10,000 pesos or some enormous amount, and I'll tell you who Don Del Oro is." So this does not sit well with Don Del Oro, who is in this picture. Dun dun dun. But and so they said Manuel goes with Diego. The three of the miscreants show up, and Moreno is the one. But unfortunately, Manuel gives it away because he knows it was Moreno, and Reed Hadley does a really good job. Now, Diego is he shakes when he's holding his gun and he misses, but he shoots Manuel's hat off, and he's like, "I gotta take you in," and he's like, "All right." And then these guys read the note. They're not supposed to, and it's a blank. So they're like rushing back, and Manuela escapes, runs away and jumps on a wagon. So here we go. And Diego is not even close to, he's not even hiding. But I just like the way this shot was framed. Once again, a Blu-ray with, that cleaned up the print would be wonderful, would look great. But he's going to jump on remember this happened in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There he is underneath, same exact gag. They built the trough so that the guy would. That's his stunt double. There is Dale Van Sickle, not killing himself. They might even have had Yakima Khanat do it. And flowing death. So that's either magma or lava or water. It's always that. Don Deloro is afraid. And Zorro pursues the escaping Manuel. And there he is. I mean, if you look, you can almost see where they cut the things out. And these horses have to be about 5 feet apart, but you can't tell by the way it's shot. It's exciting. It's a great sequence. And he hops up there and jumps on there. And as in every Zorro movie, a stagecoach goes off the cliff. Now, Manuel is in here, but he survives. He's unconscious, fortunately. And so they disguise Ramon as Manuel and bring him in. Manuel's there. They don't even take him to a doctor or anything to patch him up, so he couldn't be hurt that bad, even though they say he's badly hurt. But Juan is wearing his Legionnaire's costume, and off they go. And they get another note, but they're trying to be one step ahead of Zorro. Zorro's really smart. I like that when the hero is more proactive than reactive. It's rough. But unfortunately, the fake Manuel is going to get firebombed because they want him dead. So they just burn everything. And this guy, who's got a real peg leg, just kind of laughs at him and says, nope, you betrayed Don Deloro. They don't bother taking his bandages off at all to see who he is. And he says, I tried to reach him, but I couldn't. And it's a good fire. Fire, fire, fire. Should have had that queued up. So they use the old oxen wagon and they have the wagon pull out everybody gets away, but he has Ramon sock him a good one so they can go find Ramon. Actually, Manuel escapes by doing an old judo throw. A monkey flip, really. No, it's not a monkey flip. It's a judo throw. Over the shoulder, snap mare, if you will. And they still think this is Manuel. They have not thought to take his bandages off. I mean, maybe they don't want to see his face. This is the first time we see Don Deloro actually wandering about with his minions. Zorro shows up, and now and then Manuel shows up. And they're like, oh, we'll just kill both of them. So they're still going to kill Manuel no matter what. There's our flowing death. Zorro shows up and shoots one of them. Sword fight breaks out. Manuel runs away. Woo, 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 woo. And of course, Ramon shows up. They don't know it's him, but he fights alongside Zorro. And Don Deloro says, release the waves. Now, should he have said release the Kraken? Yes, but that was still some 45 years later. There it is. And this is a nice shot. You can't really tell, but it's coming right at him. Uh-oh, it's coming. Can't shoot the water. Now, Chapter 9 is a, what do they call it here? Recap chapter. So that one's going to go by in a hurry next Friday, or next Thursday, pardon me, which will be our last set of these because there's only 12. But what is this? What is this? It is...
In the middle in just a second. Oh, gee, what was that?
It was frightening, wasn't it?
It was horror.
Hey, you know what, Colin?
What, Ryan?
That's what all the songs on this CD set are about. Horror.
Are you saying that every song on this CD album has to do with horror?
You bet I am. 800 songs on 300 CDs.
That's
all about horror.
Because I'm going to be saying that tomorrow a lot. And I'll probably put that little clip, actual video clip, because it is Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles, and they're hilarious together because Colin takes great pride in breaking Ryan up, and he does it regularly. So, my fellow agents, that is our 4 episodes of Zorro. Tomorrow there's a reason I chose The Sound of Horror for 7-Song Friday. I'll let you figure it out. You'll have to watch till the end. But Until then, until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
You'll shiver and shake, quiver and quake when you hear the unearthly, uncanny sound that signals hideous death, the sound of horror.
Now look here. There's a treasure worth $1 million in that cave, and no myth is going to stop us from getting it. I've spent years trying to find this treasure, and now that we're at the end of the rainbow, nothing is going to stop us.
Nothing that's human.
In the ancient caves of Greece, they seek a fortune and release a destructive force beyond control.
Close up all the windows and bolt the doors. And we thought that egg had turned to stone.
Maria! Are you all right in there?
I'm not going to be for long. Hurry, please.
They can't see it. They can't escape it. They can only hear it and fear it. Can only shiver and shake, quiver and quake at that blood-curdling, inhuman sound of horror.